I think people get tattooed because, there's not a lot of real stuff left in the world, and it's all like a 24-hour news cycle. Nothing lasts. With tattooing, it's blood, it's pain, it's permanence. When you get that needle in your skin for the first time, you have to be there. You can't just call it in. You have to sit there and take the pain, and then sit there and heal it, and then you got to live with the consequences of your action.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the East West Podcast with your host, Horisumi, on this Friday, May 30th, 2024. I'm fresh off the plane from Japan, a week ago. A little bit over my head cold I got over there now, and back into work. As always, Japan is fills my cup when I go there. I get to be reminded of all the things of why I love Japanese culture, why I love the Japanese mindset. I get to be reminded that I need to be more diligent and work harder and put more attention to detail. It's always a good reminder for me to go spend time there, to be sort of in the mix with other Japanese tattooers, and to see the Japanese bodysuits that are done over there, that are worn over there, and to be reminded of the mindset that is required to create that type of work. Like all things in the West, our priorities are a little bit different than Japanese priorities. There's much more focus here on money and time and how long something takes, whereas in Japan it's much more focused on creating the thing you're creating and to make it perfect and to make it last, to have a beautiful end result, right? So it's very different than what we do in the West here. So being reminded of that, I like to go to Japan at least once a year. I used to go twice a year before COVID, but things have changed a little bit. So it's nice to be there. It was nice to be in the sanja matsuri, to be amongst the festival. It was really good vibes this year. I took my family, the kids loved it. It was a great trip, and as always, I bring back a new outlook and a new vision for what I want to do with my tattooing. And so I'm gonna, hopefully it'll start to, I'm back to work. I think I've worked one day since I've been back, and so today I'm starting my proper work week again. So I look forward to implementing the things I've learned over there. And it always fills my cup to go there and to be reminded, just to be amongst it. It's easy to be in the West and try to emulate, Japanese tattooing and stuff, and emulate Japanese culture. But when you're in there and you're living it, even if it's just for a week, right? You get to see it, you get to breathe it, you get to smell it, you get to see it all around you. I get to hang out with my Japanese friends and be around people that have a completely different mindset to work, right? And that's why I go. That's what I love about it, right? Caring about every aspect of what you do in regards to tattooing, I think is super important. I talk about this a lot, that's why I like making my own needles and making my own ink and drawing on paper, and I feel like a dick when I talk about that stuff, because a lot of my friends don't. A lot of my friends use pens and draw on iPads, and they do great work, and I was looking at a friend of mine's work the other day, and he does fucking fantastic work. Really nice Japanese work. We've been friends for 20 years. And he's using a pen and he's drawing on the iPad, and I feel like, fuck, am I that old guy that's, fucking screaming in the wind at shit? You know what I mean? Like, I don't say it to try and, I don't know. It's not a moral high ground or anything. It's I'm not trying to be better than anybody else, And I've tried to figure out, like, why do I care, right? Why do I care? I think it's the same reason you care about anything where you're trying to do things the hard way, because the process of doing things the hard way is better for you, and maybe you get a better result, right? Like if you look at weight loss, right? What's better for weight loss? Eating well and going to the gym and running, or taking a drug, like Ozempic, right? What do you think's the better in the long run. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, the craft of tattooing, which is what I talk about with going to Japan, the craft of tattooing, which is what I love, and the craft is doing everything, right? That's the beauty of it. I'm going over, I was at Horikashi's house in Gifu. We're looking at needles, and he showed me all the different needles and some new needles he's got, and he's showing me some new configurations. I love that stuff. I love that other part of tattooing, right? Which is getting nerdy about the ink and the needles and which black paint works better when you water it down for doing a gray wash. All that kind of techie stuff, craftsman stuff that you can learn, that you can share with your friends, that you can pass on to your apprentices. I wonder how much of that will be lost with the lack of people that are partaking in that aspect of tattooing, right? Like the guys here, they're nerd out over all the different brushes on the iPads and all the little tricks you can do with the iPad, sure, right? And then that's about it, right? Because the cartridges and the pens are all, there's no nerdy tech stuff to that. There's no secrets, really. Anyways, I digress. I felt bad, talking about this stuff, and I'm not judging the people that do that shit. I just, it's like a rainy day or a snowy day. I'm out for a run, I'm getting my run in the rain, and I'm looking at people inside in their cozy little house drinking their cup of tea. I'm like, come on, come run with me. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? I want people to do things the hard way with me. I love it. All right? I love that aspect of tattooing, and I think you get more out of it that way. You get more fulfillment out of it that way, And being in Japan and I was in Horikazu's studio in Asakusa, and all the stuff, it's just a nice, fresh reminder of me that, I'm not the only one who likes to work like that, who takes it seriously in that sense, all the little bits and pieces and doing things the hard way. Right? I got to hang out with Horihide, who's 93 years old now and still going. I got a little painting from him. So you can check out his Instagram, Kazuo Ogori, and you can buy a little painting from him, keep him going. He's been around for a long time, man. He's not tattooing anymore. He's not doing big paintings anymore. Just little ones. They're not expensive. You buy a little piece of history. Super cool dude. And so every time I come back from Japan, I'm inspired. I'm inspired to do this or that. And so I'm thinking of some other ways that I can, with this downtime in tattooing right now, with the slowed economy and, things are tight for a lot of tattooers. And like I've said before in previous shows, things are a little bit tight here too, right? People are getting cancellations, can't fill them, not a lot of walk-ins coming through the door some days. Some days we're good, some days it's slow. So I'm thinking of what I can do to change things around, right? And so I've got some ideas. So I'm looking, I'd like a couple of more traditional Japanese style tattooers here to implement my plan. So if you want to come work and be part of something cool, if you're a traditional Japanese style tattooer or Japanese style tattooer that wants to do traditional, get in touch with me. If you're Australian, that'd be great. If you're from overseas, get in touch and we can see what's possible. It's hard here. It's hard to come here and work from overseas now as they've changed a lot of the laws and stuff, but there's always workarounds. But I've got some cool ideas to bring a little taste of Japan to Sydney and see how we go. I won't talk about it too much just yet. Other than that, just keep it on trucking. I'll keep it short today. And yeah, that's about it. That's the update. So I'm back to work now, and I'll be in touch with you guys soon with a new show. I'm still trying to get some fucking interviews going. Not a lot of success at the moment. I haven't really been trying, but I will. All right, guys, have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.